Today we continue with our class laws of Yom Tov. And we start with There we go. We start with Sefer Shmiras Haloshon, and the topic today is a debt of gratitude. Okay. We can suggest another explanation of Rabbi Yitzchak's teaching. Which craft should man pursue in this world? He should make himself like a mute. So it's the topic that we discussed on Monday. Right? Craft meaning that you have to work on it, you have to learn how to apply it. Okay. Suppose a person suddenly suffers a loss of speech. All the city doctors are summoned to suggest a cure, but all fail. Finally, a renowned specialist is brought in from another city. He succeeds in curing the patient and refuses any offer of payment for his services. Imagine the love and gratitude which a patient would feel toward the doctor. His gratitude would be readily apparent. He would run to do the doctor's every bidding. For the patient to speak a negative word about the doctor would be unthinkable. Okay, so we got this story. So somebody got lost his speech, right? It's a very interesting parable, right? So the person lost his speech. Nobody could help except this famous doctor, and he refused to take money. Okay, so of course this person, very happy, he would never ever dare to speak against this doctor. Okay. So continue. Hashem has given man something which he has not given any other earthly creatures, speaking soul, through which he can study Torah and perform other mitzvahs, thus earning for himself eternal reward. By a strict measure of justice, a person who has used his tongue hundreds of times to speak forbidden, should waken one morning and find that he has lost his power of speech. However, Hashem, whose compassion is boundless and who is slow to anger, continues to grant this priceless gift as he awaits the person's repentance. Okay, so let's do this paragraph one more time, and we're going to explain. Very interesting. So we can see the clear parallel. This doctor who cured the patient did not charge anything. So Hashem, he's supposed to take away our speech, right, before misusing it. Okay. So one more time, Hashem has given man something which he has not given to any other earthly creature, a speaking soul, right? So I think that's Targum Onkelos. He translate this verse from Torah when Hashem blew into Adam's soul. I think in Onkelos he said the speaking soul. So now the only person who can speak is only man. Other creatures, they communicate, but it has nothing to do with the speech. Just sounds. Okay, maybe they mean something, but it's not even close to the way of a man speaks. Okay, so speaking soul, through which he can study Torah and perform other mitzvahs. Right, so study Torah and perform other mitzvahs. So the studying of the Torah is the highest mitzvah ever. So you have this opportunity, especially speaking out loud, when learning, right? So that's the bigger mitzvah than just to read it by your eyes, right, with your eyes. Thus, earning for himself eternal reward, right? So this speaking ability is the speaking. The gift of speech is something that can earn for us eternal reward if we, of course, use it properly. By strict measure of justice, a person who has used his tongue hundreds of times to speak forbidden should awaken one morning and find he has lost the power of speech, like when you give a child something and child misuses it, and you said many times, stop it, and he or she continue banging, making all the noise. So you get annoyed, you take away whatever you gave, right? That's normal. However, Hashem, whose compassion is boundless and who is slow to anger, continues to grant us priceless gift, meaning speech, right? And as he awaits a person's repentance. Okay, so Hashem is like a doctor who is like a doctor that cures us, like in some sense, and gives us the speech back. Okay, how can such a person persist of speaking Lashon Hara and other forms of evil speech? Is this how to express gratitude to one above? I mean, but without learning Musar, without learning books of that, I'm like average person or even like smart person would never like think about it like this in this perspective. Witchcraft man should pursue in this world. He should make himself like a mute, right? That's very powerful. A person who has been guilty in a past of speaking forbidden should forever bear in mind that it is only through the kindness of Hashem that he has not awakened one morning to find himself mute. Right? So it's only by kindness of Hashem. Through such a reflection, one will forever feel in debt to Hashem for his unceasing kindness, and will surely refrain from forbidden speech. Right? That just knowing that you can lose it and any given moment because of misuse. Okay, so we stop here. Any questions on what we said? Okay, if not, we continue. Okay, so it's a very lost chapter number 7, and it was sorting. So we got finally to practical applications. Even though we discussed many practical applications before, but now he puts everything into one section. Okay. So it says, before proceeding to elaborate on the principle of practical applications of borer is sorting, on Yom Tov, it is important to reiterate 2 rules. Okay. Number 1, when borer is permitted, the selection is not to be done for immediate use. However, it may be done only for the use of that day. Okay, so just to remind us, going back to Shabbos, so we said on Shabbos there are three conditions. 3 conditions, meaning first one is good from bad. Good whatever you want from bad, whatever you don't want, even it's edible, right? So the examples that we should think right away. You have a bowl of nuts and raisins, so you want only raisins, don't want nuts. It's not there's something wrong with nuts, or opposite, you want nuts, don't want raisins, right? Second condition by hand, so you don't use any special instrument, right? And the third condition is for right now, meaning for immediate use, and we explained what immediate use is. So here it's about Shabbos. Of course, on Yom Tov, since we can cook, we said the rules are more lenient. So the first one rule that for Yom Tov, which is lenient, it says when borer is permitted, the selection need not to be done for immediate use. So meaning on Friday night you can, apologize, not Friday, on Yom Tov night, meaning that Yom Tov just started, on that night you can prepare for the morning meal, there is no problem whatsoever. Okay, on Shabbos you would not be able to do that. So one second, borer permitted selection, need not to be done for immediate use. However, it may be done only for that one day. Okay, that one day, what does it mean? So there is a special prohibition, applies actually to Shabbos and Yom Tov as well, is that you're not allowed to prepare for the next day. That's always, right? Even the next day is Yom Tov, even next day is Shabbos, which is in some sense is higher than holiday, it does not make any difference. Okay, rule number 2. The separate of food and waste component should be, one second, should be done in easier possible manner. The determination of whether to remove food from the waste or vice versa must be done for each individual mixture. Okay. So, and here we go about the rule number 1, that on Shabbos we say only good from bad. Here on Yom Tov, it's whatever is faster for you, whatever is easier for you, do. Right? If good from bad is easier or bad from good is easier, whatever is good, do. Right? So there is no strict rule. So we rely on common sense of the person. Okay. So peeling food. It is permitted to use a specialized fruit or vegetable peeler on Yom Tov. So on Shabbos it would be forbidden. Okay. It is similarly permissible to use apple corer. Okay. However, these implements and any other sorting or sifting implements may not be used on Shabbos. Okay. So we said that. See Shabbos Kitchen, page 111. Okay. So the only restriction, just to remind us, is to use these implements that usually are done on a large scale. Okay, so that would not be allowed. On a smaller scale, no problem. Like a vegetable peeler, like you can peel, I think, only one cucumber or one apple at a time. So there is no problem whatsoever. Continue. So on Shabbos, just to draw a parallel, you can peel, if you want to make a salad and you need a cucumber, you can peel with a knife, regular knife. Okay. Continue. Perforated spoon. On a weekday, it is common to serve a salad that contains liquid, such as coleslaw or cucumber salad, with a perforated spoon to facilitate straining the liquid. This type of spoon may be used on Yom Tov. So you want to serve salad. Sometimes they have set of 2 spoons. You want to serve salad, but you don't want too much dressing, right? So that's good on a weekday on Yom Tov, but on Shabbos it's not going to. Is it going to work? You see, it's a specialized instrument, so we would not be able to use it. Okay. So continue. Sieve. One may not use sieve for sorting on Yom Tov because sieve normally used for large scale sorting. I mean, of course, if you have nothing else to do, as we said, maybe you can do like upside down, which is very inconvenient, but it's going to be a reminder for you that today is Yom Tov. But as we said before, I think my wife has like this cup. This cup is a mechanism. It's works better than the sieve. Okay, so continue. Straining soup. On Yom Tov, one may fashion a narrow opening between a pot and a cover in order to strain soup through the opening so that the vegetables left behind. One may utilize, stop here. So even though there is no special implement, right? The pot of the soup is the lid, like it's normal. But on Shabbos you would not be allowed to do that, because that's how, like, in some sense it is a special implement. And when you want only the liquid from the soup, right? That's what you do. You open up so you close the lid, then move over, like open a little, and that's how you strain soup, right? And leave all of the vegetables or other things behind. That would not be allowed on Shabbos. On Yom Tov there is no problem. Again, it's not a special implement, but in this case it is, because that's how people do it. That's how people use it. Okay, continue. One may also utilize calendar, I'm not sure how to pronounce, to strain water from noodles. Okay, there is no problem. On Shabbos, again, you would not be able to use that. Okay, continue. Tea bags. On Yom Tov, it is permitted to extract essence from the tea bag by allowing to drip from a bag, even though the bag is an instrument that holds the tea leaves, while allowing the liquid to drip out. Okay, so of course we're not allowed to press it, right? That's a different squeezing. It's forbidden, but if you like hang it, I guess on a handle of the cup, tie it a little, and let it sit there and let the all liquid, or as much as liquid can tea come out of the tea bag. There is no problem, but no squeezing. Okay. Continue. Because why? Because this tea bag is a special implement, right? To keep the tea leaves behind. So next one is squeezing lemons. On both Shabbos and Yom Tov, one may squeeze the juice of lemons onto solid foods, but not on a liquid. See page 49. So again, just to remind us, solid foods, in this case, sugar is also considered to be solid food. So if you want to squeeze lemon into the sugar, if you want to drink or the tea with lemon, that would be perfectly fine. Or you want to squeeze lemon on some other things, on salmon or whatever you eat, so that is also fine, with the condition that most of it is going to get, most of the lemon juice is going to get absorbed into solid food. Okay. On Yom Tov, it is permitted to rub. So you 1 second. You can do it on Shabbos and Yom Tov. Same thing. So far, here's the difference. On Yom Tov, it is permitted to wrap slice of lemon in a cheesecloth before squeezing it, squeeze out the juice. So of course, the cheesecloth is a filter, right? That would keep all of this lemon seeds behind, right? So for sure, it's or in pulps behind. So it's on Shabbos it would be forbidden, but Yom Tov no problem. However, one may however, one may not use this on Shabbos because the cloth serves as an instrument that separates lemon juice, which is food, from the pulp and peat's waste. Okay, exactly as we said. So it's a special instrument. So I mean, that's the cheesecloth is for people who do not know. That's how you make home cheese, soft cheese. Soft cheese. This like cottage cheese, they call it. Okay. So continue. Melon seeds. Okay. Cantaloupe and honeydew melons. On Yom Tov, it is permitted to remove the cluster of seeds from the center of the cantaloupe or honeydew melon, provided that at least part of the melon will be eaten sometimes during the day. So on Shabbos, it does not say about Shabbos, but on Shabbos it is allowed only for immediate use, right? And for immediate use, and or you would take with some edible part. So one of the permitted way how you allow to separate bad from good. So you separate bad whatever you don't want. All of these pits. Plus, you take a little of edible stuff, so it's not considered to be separation. Okay, so same if you wanna you have a piece of meat and there's a fat attached to it. You don't want it fat, so you cannot just cut away a fat and leave it. No, you have to cut. Oh, I'm talking about Shabbos. So you have to cut fat and a little of meat, or don't cut away all of the fat. So one of the two. Right, but going back to our cantaloupe or honeydew melons, you can do this separation as we said in the beginning of this section for the day, meaning even if you did it at night, so you want to do it you want to clean the whole melon and prepare, cut it in pieces, right, and prepare for the next morning. There is no problem. Okay, but on Shabbos, it's unless you do it as I said with the edible swat, would not be allowed. Next one is watermelon. Says on Yom Tov it is permitted to remove seeds from watermelon before eating it. So because it's clear violation of the first rule of Shabbos. So I'm just drawing the parallel, right? On Shabbos you would not be allowed to remove these seeds. So you would need to eat bite with the seed and then spit out in napkin or something. I mean, so today most of the I think most of the watermelons is without seeds, so it's much easier. Okay. Right, but on Yom Tov it is allowed to remove all of the seeds before eating it. Okay. Continue. Next one is. Let me see. Okay, so let's do this one. Bones. On Yom Tov, one may extract bones from fish, chicken, or meat that will be eaten that day. So meaning you can do before you start eating it. Okay, so you have a piece of fish, you have some bones, small bones. You remove them and then you start eating. On Shabbos, would not be allowed. So that's clear violation of the first rule. Right, that you're not allowed to remove bad from good. Bad is bone, so you don't want to eat bone, right? So one of the ways to take a piece of fish from your mouth, or if it's possible, with your fork, to take only meat. From fish, that it would be preferable. If not, like some fish have small bones where very thin bones, so it's can damage, of course, it's dangerous, right? So you would be able, like for example, you want to feed your young child this kind of fish, right? So you would be able to remove, put it on a fork or on a spoon, however you feed your child, and remove right before you put it in the child's mouth, or you feed an elderly person, same exactly as a child, because it's a life danger. This child would not understand to spit out the bone. You understand? With this elderly person, right? So that would be exception. But for all other people, that's why Ashkenazim use gefilte fish. So gefilte fish is like a right. It's only soft part. There are no bones, and since they go through the food processor, even if there were bones, you usually not. They actually were cut in many pieces, so there is no problem whatsoever. Right. So I never experienced a bone in a gefilte fish. Okay, so that's Ashkenazi food. Right, but sometimes we eat fish, and sometimes there would bone, one bone, two bones. But usually we buy fish, especially for Shabbos, with no bones, or there is no fish without bone, with minimum amount of bones. So one of the Jewish fish, it would be mackerel, right? Almost no bones. Okay. So let me see. And same with the chicken. So sometimes when it's chicken well done, so it's easy to pull out the bone, right, and leave the chicken. So when you pull out the bone and you have some meat left, there is no problem whatsoever. But if it's going to pull out completely clean, it's not allowed on Shabbos. But on Yom Tov there is no problem. You can prepare your dish whatever you want. Okay. Any questions before we continue?
Hello?
Yes.
We have a couple questions on the board.
Oh, okay, beautiful, yes.
So the first one says, Shalom Kol Rav. Could Kol Rav please explain how the knowledge of the Holy Torah is related to the prohibition of squeezing some objects as tea bags? Thank you, Kol Rav.
How the knowledge of Holy Torah? I think, could you read again the question? Maybe I missed something. Could you please read again? I apologize.
I believe our friend is asking for the Melachah from the squeezing,
Oh.
perhaps. I mean, how is it described in the Torah? That is, I mean, how the description of the Melachot from the
How is it? What? Okay. It was not threshing. But I think was it threshing? I don't remember exactly. Let me see in the beginning. Maybe it says, maybe it does not say what Melachah was it. But it's Borer sorting.
Our friend says the Holy Torah, but I believe our friend means about.
So like, I mean, I don't remember exactly what is the procedure. All like many procedure I do remember exactly, but this one, like it's something like separating bad from good. Meaning, I think my guess is the chaff, right, around the kernel, the seed, and then we would remove it in order to create dyes for dyeing. What is it? All the fabrics that we need for Beis Hamikdash. But in general, how is that the learning of the Torah? What is the connection? So so you learn Torah, and you the Torah consists of two parts. One is the oral Torah, and one is written Torah. From written Torah, you don't know anything. Like you just know that Hashem said, if you don't keep Shabbos, I'm going to kill you. How many times? I think it's 18 times. I don't remember exactly. Like a lot of. But what does it mean? There are no details. There are exactly 0 details. One detail is about fire. But what is fire? Like making fire, right? So maybe like all of these people, there are people. What is it? Not Tzedukim. All like other clowns that they say that we believe only in written Torah. So they would not use fire on Shabbos completely. So they would sit in the darkness, right? Sit in the darkness, and would not would eat only cold food, right? Because why? Because the fire is forbidden. But the oral Torah comes and say, okay, I'm going to give you all of the details. What is the definition of fire? What is the definition of this 39 restrictions on Shabbos? So 39 restrictions on Shabbos are connected to 39 Melachas, like Av Melachah, meaning the job like that was made in preparation or in building of Beis Hamikdash. Not in running Beis Hamikdash, right? Like in a building the Beis Hamikdash, all the implements, whatever they need to do. So that's the connection. So please let me know if that's what you asked or it was something different. So while person is typing, so let's go to the next question if somebody's typing.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Okay, so our friend already typed the next part of the question. Should I read it?
Yes, go ahead, please. Yeah,
I understand liquids, and moreover, water is used as an analogy to the knowledge of Torah.
Specifically water. Other liquids, that's other people added later on, and we have a clip about it. It's very interesting, right? So water is something that is soft on one hand, but on another hand, it's something that is very strong. And there is a famous question, a very famous story about Rabbi Akiva. Before he became Rabbi Akiva, when he only was dreaming about becoming Torah scholar. So he came to one point, right, and it was like some kind of spring of water, and it was like a big, huge stone, and it was a hole went through the stone, like a perfect hole. So he asked people, he said, look at this, it's amazing. some craftsmen like made this perfect hole, and people started laughing at him. So you normal, of course, there are no craftsmen. He said about how this hole developed, right? And it was like water pouring from top into this hole and continue. He said the water made this hole, dripping one drop at a time. First drop did exactly 0, second drop exactly 0, but after many drops, after many years, it's actually created a hole in this stone. So stone, as we know, it's the strongest material, right? And the water is the softest material that exists. So the softest material penetrated through the strongest material, and that's how our sages give analogy. So this water, right, compared to the Torah, can penetrate anything. So Rabbi Akiva said, if I'm hard-headed, not very smart, right? He was not learned until the age of 40. If water can penetrate the stone, for sure it can penetrate my soft brain also. So, and that's how it was analogy how he started the learning Torah. But it's an analogy for us to understand that Torah can change a person. If it was able to change the stone, so it can change us, meaning the character traits, right? Because Hashem calls us, unfortunately, and very fortunately, stiff-necked people, right? Stiff-neck meaning like neck made of marble or something, right? You cannot turn, you cannot see left, you cannot see right, you see only your way, because my way is the right way. So, and Torah has a power to change a person. And another attribute of the water, Torah is water, right? It's all-encompassing. And another attribute is the Torah only goes to the lowest point possible, right? For example, if you have a leak in your house, so it's not so. Sometimes it's apparent. So Baruch Hashem, I found many leaks. Not everything, but many. So and you would not figure out like it leaking here. You see, like it leaks on the first floor, for example. But where? Like there's no cracks in the wall, but it could be in the roof, and it could be in the opposite direction. And the water can travel, and comes to the lowest point. And same our sages explain. Same is with a person. If person is arrogant, right? He knows all. She knows all. Right, and not ready to learn. So Torah is not going to help that person. But if person make himself very low, very humble, I do not understand, please teach me, and ready to read a few times, like this one guy, one of my Harusa was giggling a little when we learned one topic this week, and I had to read 7 times. He did not understand what was said. I said, look, we do not understand. I'm going to read 7 times. If I do not get by 7th time, so we're going to leave it for the next time. And guess what? I got it from 6. But he was giving like, why would I try to understand? Like you try to understand. It's not clear. Maybe it's typo. There was no typo. That was everything was correct. You have to go back a little, like few pages back, try to connect to this, get you a few pages read ahead, and actually it was perfect writing. You understand? So when person trying to make himself humble, there is no typo, there is no problem with these sages. The problem is with me. The problem is with me not understand the Torah. So then the Torah, like Hashem said, I'm going to send you Torah. You make yourself humble. Like a problem is with me. Okay, I'm going to send you the Torah. That's why some arrogant people, they have knowledge, but they do not have the Torah. Meaning what? They cannot derive the right conclusion. Yeah, they can remember things by heart, but to come to the right psak halacha, like what to do, most of the time exactly opposite. Because of the arrogance. So that's exactly Torah. Torah, water, goes to the lowest level possible. Right, so I have a very good experience with that. So it's actually was leaking. I found one leak, so nobody could find, and I found by a miracle of Hashem. I just sprayed because it was very dangerous. So it was leaking from the fixture, right, in the dining room of my neighbors downstairs. It's like they have like chandelier, and it was leaking from that. It was like they were afraid. The elderly lady, she was like crying. She said, going to get electrocuted, this and that. So I checked. I'm living on second floor, so I don't understand the cracks. Like it must be big crack because the water was really leaking, right? So I went to the chimney, to the roof, and I found the cracks in the chimney. So once we fix it, and that place, in another place, it stopped. But it was not relevant, not related. So you see that the water would travel from the chimney through the second floor to the first floor, and in the middle of the dining room. Guess what? Mission impossible to find it. I mean, right? So that's the same with the Torah. So like water, it's go around other people, but if you make yourself humble and right, it's not about my ego. They have like I told this person, why you say it's typo? Why saying that they do not know, like this art scroll people? I say maybe we don't know. Like just because we read 3 times and try to understand. Okay, so that's the explanation of water. Okay, what else? If let's do only related questions, otherwise we can continue. Any related questions?
What?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, there's another one. It says, could the rabbi please teach us why is the rule for watermelon different from cantaloupe?
Okay, so that's a very good question. So cantaloupe, you can take all of the seed at once, all of the seeds. You take a spoon, and you remove all of the seeds. Right? With watermelon, you cannot do that because it's spread around. You understand? So that's and usually people would eat the watermelon, right, in normal way, like on a weekday. Let's say you cut yourself a slice and you eat it, and you have a encounter the seed, you're going to spit out, no problem. You understand? But nobody would cut the piece of cantaloupe with the seed attached. I mean, I have not seen that. People always clean it and then start serving. That's the answer. Okay, big difference. Okay, what else?
Thank you, Rabbi. No, there's no more questions.
Okay, so let's continue. Okay, so continue. Washing soiled foods. Okay. One may wash dirt from the fruit and vegetables, even for the later use. However, one may not place a soiled produce in a bucket of water to separate the dirt from it, because it is considered a weekday activity. So here we go sorting. So how like so sometimes people when they wash vegetables and which we suspect that have all of the bugs. So how like the first step is to put it in soapy water. Of course you wash first like under the faucet, but then you put it in the soapy water, right, to separate. So bugs are also separate. Separation, bad from good. You understand? And plus dirt. When you wash these dirty vegetables, like vegetables, so, I mean they say soil, but something like today it's hard to find. Like unless you go to the, I don't know wherever you go, like to your own garden, and we're not allowed to detach. But let's say you picked up vegetables from your garden yesterday, let's say, and they have some soil on it, right? So you have to wash. So it's also, in some sense, it's going to be separation. You want to remove bad, which is the soil, from good, which is vegetables. Okay, so one may wash the dirt, fruits and vegetables. There is no problem. even for later use. So in case of the Shabbos, you would be allowed only for now, right? And without using all of the special instruments. Okay. However, one may not place soiled produce in a bucket of water because to separate dirt, again, because the dirt would go down, right? So we put it, the dirt is heavier than the water, so it's going to on the bottom of the bucket. So that's the issue. Okay, continue. Next one, removing dirt from a drink. Although selection that could not have been done before Yom Tov is generally permitted on Yom Tov, some poskim rule that if a particle of dirt fell into a drink, one should not remove the particle itself. Rather, one should remove some liquid together with the particle, and thus avoid selecting the particle from the surrounding liquid. This is the procedure that is follows on Shabbos. Some poskim, however, permit removing the particle of dirt by itself on Yom Tov. Okay, so let's do this again, and we're going to explain. It's a lot of explanation, and we're going to. That's like many of them of poskim said do exactly as you do on Shabbos. That's. I think it's my personal approach, as I said many times. If you just remember one way, and maybe like one way is good way, so you use it on Yom Tov and Shabbos, you cannot get it wrong. Okay, so removing dirt from drink. So you had a fly fell into your drink, or some I don't know, some insect. All right, so. Just so you know, just because you have a flight or whatever in your drink, it does not make the drink unkosher. So somehow people think that this fly can make it unkosher. No, it does not. The fly is not kosher, but the drink is kosher. There is no problem. So okay, although the selection that could not have been done before Yom Tov is generally permitted on Yom Tov. So we said one of the prohibition of selecting on Yom Tov was if you could have done before Yom Tov, and it's not going to affect the quality of the food, as we explained, like in previous classes. So you would not be allowed to do it on Yom Tov. But in this case, I have pour lemonade, pour this orange juice in my glass, and something fell in. I mean, there was no way for me to know it before Yom Tov. Okay, so there is. That's why our poskim said, so you can do it on Yom Tov regular way, right? Because as we said before, whether good from bad, bad from good, whatever you want. Okay, but some poskim, so it's not a major opinion, but I would say just follow this opinion. Why? Because we do exactly the same on Shabbos, right? So you would not be allowed to remove this fly on Shabbos. Under the Shabbos not, but here it's only some say. But if you take a little liquid with the fly, there is no problem whatsoever. So you're not separating. You're taking bad with good, which is always allowed, and it's one of the permissible ways. So we have to remember this rule. Bad with good, it's not considered to be separation. Okay, as we said about meat with fat. Same idea. Okay. This is procedure that follows on Shabbos. Other poskim, however, permit removing the particle of the dirt by itself on Shabbos. Okay, so meaning since the sorting in this case is 100% permitted, so other poskim, I'm not sure which poskim on which side, but it does not make any difference. I would say like it's a little bit of liquid. It's not like you're going to encounter the major loss, and that's it, right? And our poskim, what's that? Where was it? I think it's Talmud Brachas. I think. Maybe I'm mistaken. It was a story, how the discussion on 4 characters of people, right? And was it on brachos or was it on sota? So it was depends how a person treats this fly in his drink, right? So one person is going to remove just fly and suck it, right? All the liquids from the fly throughout. Another person is going to remove fly with the liquid. Another person will pour out the whole liquid, everything. He's not going to touch. And another person is going to drink liquid with the fly. And it's actually like they explain in intimate conduct how people conduct themselves based on this. So based on behavior, how a person addresses the situation, you can tell a lot about the character of the person. Okay, so next one. Removing fat from meat. Oh, here we go. Another instance in which the dispute just mentioned applies is that the fat which is attached to meat. So fat is, it's not like it's not forbidden fat. It's you're allowed to eat fat. So this fat is in a limited amount. It's actually healthy. This fat on the meat, right? Limited amount, right? According to the first opinion, it should not cut away the fat alone, as we said on Shabbos, as exactly on Shabbos, but should remove a sliver of the meat with it. So in this case, you remove bad meaning whatever you don't want, fat with meat, no problem. And thus avoid selecting the fat and adjoining meat. Okay, from adjoining meat. So that's according to all of the opinions. Again, the rule, you remove good with bad, or bad with good. According to the latter opinion, one may remove the fat by itself. Again, only on Yom Tov, on Shabbos, no. The same dispute would pertain to the skimming fat from soup. Right? So, okay. So if there is fat on soup, I'm not sure if it's very healthy to eat this soup, but okay. When it's cold, I understand that it would be fat, but if it's warm and still fat, like swimming on the top of, not swimming, like floating on the top of this on the top of the soup, that's a problem, I think. Okay. Continue. Any questions actually before we continue? Because we're going to away from food stuff and we start with different. Any questions? Okay, no problem. So next one is sorting Seforim. So also not such an easy thing, right? It is common for many assorted Seforim to become gathered in piles and shul on Shabbos on Yom Tov. So like people finish reading people finished using Sidurim. For example, on Yom Tov they have Machzorim. So some people would use except Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur. Some people would use a Machzor, which is, as we said before, it's more convenient. I never use it. I use a regular Siddur. I got used to it. So but some people would use Sidurim, and many people, like I don't know, like it's how is it possible? But many people who comes from time to time to shul, they would leave like everything on a seat, like throw them, not throw, but leave them like and just go out or go out to eat. Like I never understood. So usually not locals, but the guys who always come, like the main guys never do that, never ever. So even like for example, he would take a Machzor, he would put it back. Like I don't know, like for us it's normal, but people who come from time to time, they dump and run, and then you come for mincha. And this Sidurim, it's like a disrespect. They're everywhere, right? So you have to do something. But if they put it in one pile, it could be mixture. So let's see. It is common for many assorted Seforim to become gathered in piles on shul. So some people, they do not know, they put it upside down, this and that. It's okay. Shuls on Shabbos and Yom Tov. According to many authorities, these piles consider miksheh with respect to borer. So one of the, another similar examples, I don't remember who was, but we said the plates. So you have even dirty plates, you have small plates and big plates. So it's also like it is a pile. Of course, you can see clearly when the big plates are small plates, but it is still a mixture. So there is there are categories of mixture, but it's one of the categories of mixture. Okay, so these books, for example, I think it's a good example. This Sidurim and the Magzorim, right? Two different books. Okay, so can you put one on top of the other? I think so. Okay. So me personally, I would put Sidur on a Magzor. Okay. So, but I'm not sure if that's halacha. Okay, but that doesn't matter. They're mixed. Okay. Therefore, sorting the Seforim and returning each one to a proper place would be violation of border. So you cannot just so if you go around, let's say sometimes I see people do it. It's very nice of them. So the guy would go like after mincha. Some people go eat, some people study, some people just clean up in the shul. Right. So the guy would go around and collect all of the sidurim and put them back. So if you collect just the sidurim, there is no problem whatsoever. There is no mixture. It's one kind. Right. So the problem would be when there are two books. Therefore, sorting this Seforim and return each one to the proper place would be violation of border. So it's not so simple. You want to be nice, and here we go. You will it in Melachah. Although this is forbidden on Shabbos, it is permitted on Yom Tov, but there is a possibility that Seforim may be used that day. So on if you do it on like after the Shacharis, there is no you might say there is no problem, but I would say it is a problem because like in most of the places that I know, 70% would not come for mincha on Shabbos. So to say that you prepare, on another hand, we said since somebody might need this siddur, so you can prepare all of them. Since even one person might need this mug, so you can prepare all of them. Okay. But after the mincha, I would say not. But this guy who does it, even though I told him he does not listen, he knows better, he thinks. But I guess the excuse is that when they line on a bench, it's like a disrespect. So that's what I told him. If you do it because it bothers you, like the disrespect that siddur is lying on the bench and then somebody is going to sit on the bench, there is no problem. But if you want to be like shul to be nice and neat, prepare for after Shabbos, that's absolutely not allowed. Okay. He did not listen. Baruch Hashem. Okay, so continue. Sorting cutlery. So that's we actually said that we're going to discuss later, and that later is right now. So and cutlery, as we said, the person was washing these forks and spoons, and was put like usually. That's the only way I saw it. Like you have some kind of cup, some kind of container, and you put all of them together. Right, so for sure it is a mixture, for sure. Right, you put them to dry. Okay, so let's see. Sorting cutlery. It is quite common for knives, forks, and spoons to get mixed together when they are washed. Normal, right? This may occur when they are placed in a dish basin or in a rack of a dishwasher. Okay. The collection of the cutlery has a halachic status of mixture and sorted into separate components in an act of borer. So meaning what? So you cannot take a random. So like you have this cup or like drying, like when it was drying. So you cannot take one. Oh, it's knife. I'm going to put here. Oh, it's a fork. I'm going to put here. So it's for sure. It's forbidden. It's a sorting. Okay. So it's considered with a mixture because they are all together, of course. Even taking individual pieces at random. So as we just said, at random. And set them in the proper places is defined as a border. So proper places, whether you want to put it in a drawer, right, or you want to put it on next to the plate, you serve like for the next meal. It's going to be border. On a practical level, there is a difference between cutlery that one wash and the mix together before Yom Tov. And then, and which one is mixed together on Yom Tov itself? So mixed before Yom Tov or on Yom Tov itself? Okay. We have learned, that border forbidden on Yom Tov if the sorting could have been done prior to Yom Tov, with equal results. Thus, the cutlery that was mixed together prior to Yom Tov should be sorted before Yom Tov. In the event that one neglected to do so, one may sort it on Yom Tov only by utilizing a shinoi. That is, one must select the pieces of cutlery that he needs and leave the unwanted ones behind. Sorry. Let's do here paragraph by paragraph and sentence by sentence because it's a lot of information and we're trying to draw the parallel to Shabbos. Even, it's very, very close to laws of Shabbos. So one more time. On a practical level, there is a difference between the cutlery that is washed and mixed together before Yom Tov, right? Before Yom Tov. Stop here. So one of the rules, as we said in the beginning of this chapter, we said if he could have done with the same quality like before the Yom Tov, he's not allowed to sort it on Yom Tov, right? Right? It's I'm not sure why was it. Maybe I guess. No, it's not a good guess. If it's second day, it's not a good guess. Why this cutlery was dirty? I'm not sure. Maybe they had construction in their house, and maybe dusty or whatever. Possible, right? So they just figure out like before Yom Tov, like in the morning, they had to rewash everything. It's also possible. Right, also possible. And let's say that they had time before the Yom Tov to sort it, but they did not. So that's would be the first case. And the second scenario is when and which was mixed together on Yom Tov itself, meaning what? That you're washing dishes, right? As we said, you're allowed to, if you lack some dishes, whatever you need to, you can wash, and you can wash even more, right? We have learned that boreh forbidden on Yom Tov, if sorting could have done prior to Yom Tov with equal results. So we already said that. So it is forbidden, but even though it is forbidden, you need it. It's for Yom Tov need. So we just say do it with the shinoi, do it with deviation. Shinoi is deviation, meaning not a regular way. That's the cutlery that mixed together prior to Yom Tov. So as we said, maybe it got dusty or something, right? And they had to wash it in the morning before Yom Tov. That's cutlery that was mixed together prior to Yom Tov should be sorted before Yom Tov. That's given. So usually, okay. So just keep it clean. In the event that one neglected to do so, one may sort it on Yom Tov only utilizing shinoi. So and this concept of shinoi is we're going to use a lot on Shabbos, especially. Actually, in grinding maybe also. Okay, continue. That is, one must select pieces of cutlery that one he needs and leave the unwanted ones behind. Right? So that's I'm not sure how is it shinoi. That's a regular way. So if we're going to eat soup right now, right? So I don't need forks. I don't need knives usually, right? So for soup you need spoons. So I'll take from this mixture only spoons, no problem. Same with grapes, right? So if you need so I'll take only fresh grapes and leave this spoiled grapes behind. Okay, continue. Next paragraph. If cutlery was unwashed after the evening meal and mixed together, it may be sorted at night in order to set the table for the morning meal, since the cutlery was unavailable for selection before Yom Tov. The selecting is permitted on Yom Tov, even later use. Okay, so here we go. Is a big leniency for on a Yom Tov, right? So like people wash these forks and knives, cutlery, on the night after the night meal, and to prepare for morning meal. There is no problem whatsoever. So even though it is mixture, yes, it is mixture, but as we said before, this mixtures, since you could not possibly do it before the Yom Tov because they just got dirty on Yom Tov itself, so there is no problem. You can sort it any way possible, whatever is faster for you, right? But on Shabbos you would still go by different procedure. So you would on Shabbos you would need to break down the mixture. So and how you throw on as we said on a couch or somewhere, so they separate from each other. So before it was in your hand, for sure it's mixture. Now you throw like they separate from each other in regular pieces, different pieces. So it's no longer a mixture. Okay, but on Yom Tov you do not need to do that. Much simpler. Continue. However, if cutlery was mixed together after the morning meal, it is forbidden to sort it out for evening meal, because this would involve the performance borer for a next day use, which is forbidden. Washing the cutlery for use at night is also prohibited for this reason. An exception is the case where Yom Tov falls on Friday and one prepare Eruv tavshilin. See chapter 35, chapter 7. Once night has fallen, one may sort the cutlery and set the table even if the meal will take place sometimes later. Let's read this paragraph again. So this rabbi is Simcha Bunim Cohen. He's an amazing genius. Like in this paragraph, he gives so much information. So if you read like carefully, he answers actually all of the questions. It's very like unbelievable quality. So one more time. However, if cutlery was mixed together after the morning meal, so what's the problem? On Yom Tov we have only two meals, like obligatory only two meals, the evening meal and the daytime meal. On Shabbos you have three meals, so technically on Shabbos after the morning meal you're allowed to wash some dishes. Maybe you're going to use it at night, there is no problem. On Yom Tov, no. Okay, so one more time. However, the cutlery was mixed together after the morning meal, right? It is forbidden to sort it out for the evening meal. So one more time, the reason is we're not allowed to prepare for a weekday or Yom Tov or Shabbos, right? But one exception. Right, one exception. Washing the cutlery for the use at night is also prohibited for this reason. So you're not allowed to sort it, and you're not allowed to wash it, right? Of course, as we said, if you want to put it like somewhere, you can put it in a dish pan, and I show you an example of the dish pan I think one time, and let's say you have soapy water. There is no problem. So you put there all of the dishes or forks and knives, and there is no problem. To wash it would be very fast. But it's usually said on the calendar, all of the like when they tell you the candle lighting for the next day Yom Tov, for second day Yom Tov, right? So they would say candle lighting after such and such time. So they do not give you precise time, but meaning after the nightfall. So after the nightfall, you have you can light the candles anytime you want. So people try to light as soon as possible, of course, and meaning that this time is a nightfall, right? This time is nightfall, and you can start washing dishes because it's for right now, for today. So you can do sorting and all of these things that needed. An exception, here we go. So he put everything in this small paragraph. An exception is the case when Yom Tov falls on a Friday, and one prepared the Eruv tavshilin. So Eruv tavshilin, and we discussed it before, but just briefly to remind, it's in our Siddur. So it's like a mechanism, halachic mechanisms that would allow you to prepare on Yom Tov for Shabbos. So meaning what? That in some sense you start cooking before the Yom Tov starts for Shabbos, and in some sense you continue cook for Shabbos, and you would be allowed to light the candles and for Shabbos candles on Yom Tov, right? What is the difference? A huge difference. On Shabbos you're not allowed to light candles; it's forbidden lighting fire, right? So you have to light before Shabbos, and before Shabbos is Yom Tov, like when Yom Tov goes into Shabbos. That would be forbidden unless you did this Eruv tavshilin, right? So, and as this Eruv tavshilin, you said that I start all my preparations for Shabbos right now, even before the Yom Tov starts, and I'm going to continue on the second day of Yom Tov, or first day. So, one more time the whole sentence. An exception in this case where the Yom Tov falls on Friday, and one prepares Eruv tavshilin. Once the night fallen, so only when the night starts, right? One may sort the cutlery and set the table. So before that, you're not allowed to set the table. You're not allowed to start cutting your salads and stuff like that. Not allowed, right? And not allowed to put food on a blech to warm up. Nothing. So usually the second night is you start a little later, or much later, I would say. Cutlery said the table and for the evening meal they take place sometimes later. So even though you're going to eat much later, or I don't know, an hour later, there is no problem. So you can start sorting and do all of the preparation needed for Shabbos, cleaning the table. So you're not allowed to clean the table unless it's as we said, the term was disgusting. So like some smelly food, whatever, it's summer and something starts smell. Of course, you're allowed to remove it, or you have nuts shells. I mean, better not to do it, but in some cases you would be allowed to remove them. Not because they're not muktzah, but because they're disgusting, they're disturbing and stuff like that. Okay, let me check that. I think we can stop here. Yes. So, okay, so we finished that chapter. Next chapter is grinding. Okay, any questions on what we say or did not say? Any topic, basically.
Rabbi?
Yes, go ahead, please.
There's a question on the board.
Yes.
It says, if a small bug falls into the food and disappears, assuming it's still somewhere in the food, does it render the food non-kosher?
No, it does not render the food not kosher. The bug is not kosher. So we're trying to find this bug. So if it's drowned somewhere in your soup, that would be a problem. Right? It's hard to find. If it's like maybe it flew away or something, that's much better. So we're trying to be very careful and try to go through the food and find the bug. You understand? It's not we're not allowed to eat bugs. So we're not allowed to eat bugs on one hand, and we're not allowed to waste food, like to throw in the garbage. Okay, what else?
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Lerner still typing the questions.
Mm-hmm.
May I ask one question about
Yes,
Shabbos
go ahead.
in the meantime?
Yes, go ahead, please.
So on the Siddur, there's this part this excerpt from the Mishnah that we read on Shabbos. I mean, it's still in my Siddur. I don't know if it's in someone else's Siddur about the laws of turning on and off the fire on Shabbos.
Okay.
And there's this part that says that a person is allowed to turn off the fire in case of idol worshippers and in case of a ill person that is not able of taking any rest. I don't know if Kodah could expand on it a little further.
Yes. That's we call it the section called Bamei Madlikin. So we read this section in a synagogue after the mincha. So we pray first weekday mincha, and then before the Mariv we start. So we do Kabbalah Shabbos, like acceptance on Shabbos, and then we start this Bamei Madlikin. So about what wicks you can use, what kind of oil you can use for Shabbos and stuff like that. Right. So this section actually explains all of the law, not like many laws of Shabbos. So it says you have to check your pockets, make sure they're not carried on Shabbos unless there is Eruv. So and make sure that you don't use the pots that were not deep in the mikveh and stuff like that. And one of the parts is actually said about that you're allowed to blow off the candle, right, or light candle, lamp, right, if you're afraid of idolaters. So on a biblical level, we have to remember that extinguishing the fire was to making coals. So what is it like? What are we talking about? So in order to the fire to be a higher degree, right? It has to be you have to use not the wood, right? Not wood itself, but the coals. So how do you make coals? You fire up the wood, and then you extinguish at some point, and then next time you fire up this piece of wood, it's going to be the temperature would be much higher, right? And you need it in cases that you need to melt things. So you need a high temperature. For my soup or for my tea, I do not care. So that's exactly what we're doing. I think to melt the silver or something, right? So that extinguishing was actually for constructive purpose, right? To make these coals. So this Mishnah, we just said, it was not for constructive purpose. It was actually first case because person is afraid, has a light on, and now the people are going to come, right? He's afraid this idolaters are going to come, maybe kill him, right? So he pretends that he's not there, so they don't see the light. So because it's pikuach nefesh, even questionable is possible, so you're allowed to extinguish the light. And second case is actually for the sick person. So sometimes actually the Shulchan Aruch said that you're allowed to make to turn on the light or to start the candle for a sick person, and it's not like you need to do something for him, like he's resting. Let's say he took or she took the medicine. Like it's not like you need to give any treatment, but in the mind of the sick person, so he or she they disturbed because maybe they're going to need something, and now you're not going to see it because it's Shabbos for this and that, and it's the person get anxious, right? And that's why also you said if the sick person say, please turn on the light, start the candle for me, like light the candle for me, we're allowed to do it because again, it's for the peace of mind of this sick person. Of course, it's not like when somebody cut a finger, but something serious. Something serious, yes, you would be allowed. Even though, as I said, you don't need to do anything for them. And same extinguish, so because the person can rest. So of course he can, if he can, even though it's muktzah, so if you can carry, like put it on the floor, like cover it with something, it would be much more preferable to move the muktzah, but not to extinguish it. So muktzah is rabbinical and extinguish is biblical. right? So even though it is allowed, so we try to always to minimize if it's not case of emergency, we try to minimize the desecration of Shabbos. So that's why it would be allowed in these cases. But those are, as we say, exceptional cases. Okay. What else?
Thank you, Rabbi.
Yes, you're welcome. Good question.
So
Yes.
thank you, Rabbi. Why does it also say that we're allowed to turn the fire off if in case of melancholy? Why is that?
I mean, that's again melancholy. What is a melancholy? It is a psychiatric disease. I'm not sure. Like today, melancholy is a general term, but a person is like this. What is it? This fire bothers him, so he afraid to fall asleep because maybe the fire is going to start, and you don't even understand how many people I know who women say I would not light the fire the candles. Why? Because I cannot go to sleep. I said, so light it early, accept Shabbos early, and there is no problem. I mean, buy three hours candle. Don't like. What is the problem? I mean, so from the time you accept Shabbos, like 3 hours, you're not going to stay up. Like that does not make sense. How is it possible? 3 hours is nothing, right? So they would afraid they would put it in a sink or something. So of course it's not appropriate. But go against Hashem, which is an inherited eternal fire. There is no problem. There is some contradiction in people's head. Understand? So why I'm saying that? Well, what was the question? I apologize.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, melancholy. Melancholy. Yeah. So the people are like they're crazy. Like psychiatric disease, right? So they would not be able to sleep. Would not be like it would bother them very much. And for a normal person to fall asleep, there is no problem. For them, it's a problem. So you would be allowed to, but it's better if ask them, let them do it themselves. You don't do it because because you don't know. So, but today, you see, it's such an easy generation we live in. So like you just cover the light or leave the light. For example, some people have a light. I put the light in my closet. Right, so like closet, you close the door. There is it's dark. You need to change. You open the door, and there is a light. I mean, it's very simple, right? You have a light, so it would not bother anybody. But for example, if people have they need a lot of light, they don't know how to use it, and it was very very annoying. I remember we were in one of hotels in Jerusalem. It was one of the fancy schmancy hotel, and it has a Shabbos mode. So Shabbos mode, it's like second time in my life I use a Shabbos mode, and I regret it. Shabbos mode is not for me. So basically, the Shabbos mode. So maybe you could have adjusted the time, but it was like so complicated to adjust the time. So it was the light was until like midnight or something. So I mean, for people who sing there and drink until midnight, there is no problem. But we finished like I don't know, like 9 p.m., 9:30 or something. It was very annoying till midnight. You understand? So try to sleep with all of the lights on. So even if you don't have melancholy, it's going to irritate you very much. So yeah, that's the story. So those are sick people. Okay. What else?
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So is someone, sorry that I kind of got long-winded with this question. So is someone that suffers from post-traumatic stress disorder because they survived, I don't know, like a fire or something like that, does the people count within this category of?
I would say yes, but it's today it's easier to predict these things. So for example, normal person should not do it. So try to like see it one step ahead of you. So as I say, like put the lights in a closet or like a table, like desk lamp, right? Whatever. So you can carry away, put it like on the floor. So it was on a nightstand. You put it on the floor. You put the towel around, and that's it. So I mean, you can sleep. There's no like always no reason to turn off completely light, unless you have like central light, and it's very annoying. Person cannot fall asleep, right?
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome. So all of us have to like see our surroundings. Like if I like for example, I have a bedroom, and if I going to leave light in my like corridor, something like a hallway, and it would be enough for me to change the door, whatever I need. So that's you should do it. And then you close the door, and that's it. There is no light. So just just think based on your apartment setup. Okay, what else?
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So, the next question on the board says it's about the issue of bugs in the food, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Says, Shalom, Rabbi. I heard from Rabbi Reuben Shlita, maybe I am not remembering correctly, but something along the lines. If a living bug went into a pot of soup, it makes the soup non-kosher, and also that it is not batel b'shishim. Is that because the soup is hot, or maybe because it is still cooking? Or is it the same case, like what Rav said, that we just have to look for the bug?
No, we have to look for the bug. The soup did not become not kosher. So even though the bug is there, so if you find the bug, that's it. You throw out, and so the soup is kosher. So if it like cooked completely, and you're not sure, so I would say it's actually bitul b'shishim. So even though, like for example, I'll give you a different example. Some things they do not would not ever sell you in a normal way. In a normal, for example, broccoli. Go find the kosher broccoli, like frozen. Like unless it's a Jewish company, it's a small batch, it's going to charge you a lot of money. So yes, but otherwise they're never going to certify, right? But if it's not a Jewish company, but if they go into the pulverize it and make some kind of like a dip or something, there is no problem. Even though, right, there were bugs, but they were cut in pieces. You understand? So that's the proof. Or a cauliflower, yeah, go find the cauliflower. I mean, again, in the kosher stores, they would charge you $10 or $7 for a small pack. Yes, I mean, of course, you can check yourself, but that's the point I'm trying to make. When they pulverize it, make some puree from it, it would be allowed. Of course, they did not have the bugs. They clean it the best was possible, this and that. But of course, we know there were bugs in there. Right, unless you check it. So I checked several times, and it's time consuming, and so a few times I did find, but then I got like too much. Like you can never be sure that you found everything. Understand? Even though we washed, like before, my wife they give me to check, so she would wash 3 times, I think, 2 or 3 times. So like. Most of the stuff was originally there was not there, and still I found things. All of them were dead, but still, like at some point I said, it's not worth it. Whoa, what do I mix? Okay, and it's very possible to miss it. Okay, what else? So just to remove the bug. So if it's not cannot be found, I think that soup is kosher. There's no problem. But when you eat it, like careful, like when with each spoon, like see, or try to pour to a different pot and try to source the best way possible. The problem is with living creature, maybe not may not be nullified. That's I think his point was. I'm just thinking. right? When it's pulverized, like cut in pieces, that's a different story. When it's still alive, that's a different story, right? When it's dead, but it's like if it's flying, not flying, if crawling only, these legs, so many legs. So it's from 1 to 5 violations actually. If somebody eats this bug. Okay. What else?
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
I don't know, the question that I'm about to say is gonna be a little stupid, but if a kosher bug, meaning like a kosher grasshopper jumps into the soup and dies into the soup, are we allowed to eat it?
Yes. I mean, you see, usually it's like we go in by tradition. So if we don't have tradition to eat it, even though other people do have tradition, so let them eat it, but it is forbidden to us. You understand? So even though these Yemenite people, they claim that they know which grasshoppers kosher, so let them eat it because they have tradition. But other people, they don't have such a tradition, so they don't eat. And that's why, so if you, I give you a better example. A better example would be about birds, right? So about kosher animals, it says which animals are kosher. Why? Because all other animals are not kosher. But when Torah speaks about birds, it says it gives a list. I don't remember how many, 20 or 25, 30. I don't remember exactly how many birds, but it's a list. Of course, it's not only these birds. It's subcategory from these birds. It's understandable. So it's much more than these birds. Like similar birds would not be allowed. But so in Shulchan Aruch explains that sometimes the hunter would bring you a bird, and he said, I know that from my father, from this, from that, and he's a God-fearing person. It's a kosher bird, and you check the sign, like there are a few other signs, like in the birds, so you can determine it's kosher or not. So, but bottom line, Rima said, the poskim said, you don't need it. If you don't have clear tradition, that from generation, unbroken chain from generation to generation, we don't need it. So that's why some people would not eat turkey, right? Because turkey was introduced later on, so there's no clear tradition. Yeah, it looks like a chicken. Yes, it has a kosher sign. Nobody says it's not kosher, but some people would not eat it because of that, right? And even though many birds are available to eat, but we eat only chicken and some others, like only a few birds that we eat. So same with why? Because of tradition. So same with grasshoppers, we don't eat them. If you can remove them, remove them.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome. So, but with a live bug, yeah, it could be a problem. So again, we have to strain the soup and see if we can remove it for sure. Do everything possible. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Thank you very much, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
One of our friends, unfortunately, has a very slow network, and he had to send me the questions on WhatsApp, so I'm going to read them.
Okay, go ahead.
So it says, question, what's the difference between Eruv, tavshilin, and Eruv, chatzerot, as well as Eruv, tehumim?
So one is Eruv tavshilin is allowance us to cook on Yom Tov on Yom Tov for Shabbos and light the candles and do other preparations for Shabbos. That's Eruv tavshilin. Eruv chatzerot. I need to look up. I don't remember which one is that. I think Eruv chatzerot is our regular Eruv, like when you can carry, right? You can carry around, and another one is an extension of your Tehillim. So that there is a special restriction on Shabbos, how much you can walk, how long you can walk past the city limit. right? So we say, let's say it's clear. So the city stops here, the last house is here, and how do I know that the last house is not last? Like if they like spread apart, so it's from, let's say there is some houses next to each other. If it's away 7 amos away, 70 amos away, 70 amos, it's 140 feet approximately, plus minus, right? So it's already like behind the city line, and from that one, so you count 2,000 amos, right? 2,000 amos is approximately 0.6 mile, a little more than 0.6 mile, depends on whose calculation, and it's about 1 kilometer, right? So you can walk. After you establish your Shabbos location, you can walk this long, past the city line. So that's called Shabbos Tehillim. But you can extend it, so you can create this Eruv. Meaning what? That before Shabbos, you bring there some foods, right? And you said it's going to be my location on Shabbos. Right, for whatever reason, you need to walk. Let's say you need to walk to another town, right? So you can, so you establish your location like in this Tehillim. So you did not walk 2,000 amos, but you walked 190 amos, right? 2,000. Yeah, to 2,000. So 1,900 amos you walked, right? You established this Eruv, and you would be able to walk from there another 2,000 amos. For example, in our case, if somebody wants to cross the bridge, right? So some bridges, like for example, Brooklyn Bridge is shorter. So even like because you go from one city to another. So if you live in New York, so you could go from Brooklyn, you can go walk wherever you want. It's one city, but you want to cross to Manhattan. You want to see where Moshe Feinstein, that's how I used to live, right? There are beautiful shuls and there, beautiful old shuls, so you can go through the Brooklyn Bridge. There is no problem. But the other bridges, because it's like shorter bridge, but other bridges are longer. So in this case, they would establish, they put some kind of water, like hide somewhere, like cookies or I don't know, whatever they're going to hide. Hopefully nobody's going to steal, these homeless people not going to steal. So, and it's going to be that person's like location that he said on Shabbos, even though my house is here, but there is a second location is there. So in this case, he would extend his ability to walk further. And a few times I spent Shabbos, like a Shabbos, like in Manhattan, very interested in the different communities. And there were people who came from a different neighborhood. I say, how did you get here? He said, we walk over the bridge. From Queens, they went to Manhattan. I don't know, it's like, for me, it's a waste of life. Like, just because it's, rich people have a better food. Like, I don't know, it's too much walking. It's like, they say it's a long way. I'm not sure if it's possible. They say they walk around 1 hour, more than 1 hour. Okay. Well, so that's 3 different Eruvim. So and in our Sidurim, if you check, the table of contents, you will see, and there is like the instruction how to make the Eruv. Of course, Eruv, like in order to walk, that's it's a different story. It's a big science, big topic, so that you need to get the rabbis involved. It's not such an easy thing. And there are 2 Eruvim. It's actually one is a Sephardic, and was in Ashkenazi. Sephardic Eruv is very strict. They go by the wall only. So if a city is surrounded the wall, well, like an old wall in what is it in Yerushalayim, or you have a fence, for example, they need complete fence. Meaning you live in a gated community, for example. So it's complete fence. So that's, yes, so it's going to be Sephardic Eruv. But Ashkenazi, it's like it's much more lenient. And many Sephardic, of course, Sephardim rely on Ashkenazi Eruv, meaning that it's going to be like a wire or like on telephone poles, like go around. And of course, they like special procedure. They collect matzah in one place, like basically everybody can come to me and to have their matzahs. Understand? Okay. I mean, I over simplify, but that's like that's what it is. So 3 different Eruvim. Okay. What else?
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So a friend also says, could Kutlery please elaborate on what the sages of blessed memory said about the 3 responses of the 3 different people who found a fly in their drink, and tell about each individual.
I would not remember exactly, but it's a relation between man and his wife. That's we can look up. We can look up. I don't want to make mistakes. So. Okay. What else?
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
And the last question our friend made is, I heard that to daven mincha, mincha especially between 3 and 3:30 in the morning, now that the winter is nearing, and sunset is around 4:30. Does this have an effect on the ideal time to daven mincha?
No, that's ideal time. We don't go by time, but we're going by the latest time. What is the earliest time? So the earliest time to daven mincha in general, daven its brain, half an hour after the noon. So and noon is seasonal noon. It's not 12 p.m. It's seasonal noon. I mean, in the seasonal hours is in summer it's I don't know, like 1:30 could be 1:20, right? And in the winter it could be 12:30. Like depends. I did not check this time one time, so I don't know exactly what is it right now. But it's very, very different. Sometimes it's 1 hour and 15 minutes, like in our time, like difference between winter and summer. So huge difference. So we go by this time. What is the time? Like latest time, it's proper to daven mincha before the sunset. So and actually, our sages said, Mishnah Brura says, so if let's say they wait for a number 10 guy, or they're waiting for a rabbi or somebody is important, and the sunset is approaching, so they say better for you to daven by yourself than with minyan, but after the sunset. That's what we try to follow. Right. Of course, there is some Hasidim, they actually daven mincha, and it is allowed until the very late, until almost night. It's like they go by 72 minutes, so, and they would daven mincha like even 3 minutes before the 72 minutes, like after it's completely night. And several times in my life, I had to rely on that opinion. I was very late. Was busy with million things, and there is one place they call it Minion Factory, right, where I live. They constantly have mincha every 10 or 15 minutes, like constantly. People finish, they go working out, other people coming in. It's like non-stop. So all of them, my guests would come to me like from different countries, from different cities. Like I don't have guests any longer, but they used to come. I would take them there, and it was like mind blowing. So because of where they live, they think that Judaism is dead. But you see, you go to this place and you see that Judaism life and very alive. So right, every 15 minutes of almost complete hall, complete. So meaning a few hundred people every 15 minutes, and the next one already waiting. This goes out, they come in, go out, in, out, in. Same with the shacharis. On shacharis, they have two floors, two shacharis. I mean, maybe there is another room, I don't know. I'm aware only about 2 rooms. So in that place, yes, they daven very late mincha. So I daven, since there is they have their own paskim, they rely on this, and it was an emergency situation for me. Like I did not want to daven by myself for whatever reason. I was stuck somewhere, so I rely on that opinion that you can daven mincha even that late, right? But so we don't go by about like regular time. Time is irrelevant. What the matter is the time from which to which you're allowed to pray mincha. If it's 3 till, as our friend said, 3 p.m., 4 p.m., whatever is it. So I'm going to mincha, like in my shul, it's 4:35 this week. So meaning I think it's 10 minutes before the sunset. So I mean you can finish for sure Shmona Esrei and maybe the repetition of the Shmona Esrei. You don't finish or at least start. So but the main part is done before the sunset, for sure. That's and then after the sunset, it is allowed to pray Ma'ariv. So I mean, of course, it's not ideal way. The ideal way to pray after the nightfall, it's understandable. But what I do, I always repeat the Shema. Always, absolutely always. I repeat Shema after the nightfall. So you cannot go wrong. Okay, what else?
Thank you very much, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
By the way, about this question about the mincha, I said 3:30 a.m. and it was 3:30 p.m.
p.m. Yeah, no, but
Sorry.
But we got the. I mean, we got the point. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Sorry about that. So, okay, the next question says, Shem Kodaraf, could the rabbi help us with a few questions about prayers? Number one, Beitam Shema. What does the phrase "and a double-edged sword is in their hand" mean?
I mean, I have to look at the commentary if it's in double-edged sword. But we have to look at the commentary. I would not say like from the memory. I don't know. What else?
The second question says about Adon Olam.
Mm-hmm.
What does the phrase "the portion in my cup on the day I call" mean?
Again, it's a very specific question. We have to look at the commentary or what it says. It could be even in a siddur. If not, we have to look at the source. In the art scroll, they put the sources like a small letters, small characters like digits, and you can always go to the original and see the commentary on that verse. I would not like this. I would not remember all these things. Okay, what else?
And the third one, and the first Shema blessing, why does it say Hashem prepared and worked on the rays of the sun?
Okay, so I don't have siddur here to check the wording. I'm not sure. Okay, what else?
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome. Go ahead.
Okay, so the next question says, in addition to Shnayim Mikra Ve'echad Targum, should one add an extra commentary like Ramban?
Ramban. Okay, if it's possible for you, yes. So if you finish with Rashi, so I would say if a person start like a few years, do just Rashi, right? So you're very familiar with a simple explanation, with most common, most accepted information, right? Like not information, commentary on Chumash, so you know exactly the story. When you go to Ramban, so and I went to Ramban, and actually I unfortunately, very fortunate, I did not finish this year. Still from the past year, so I started like unfortunately I'm behind. But many times he would reject what Rashi said. Many times he would reject what Rambam said, or Ibn Ezra and other people. So before you go to and learn the Ramban, you have to have like very strong foundation that Rashi is what is accepted, and Ramban is very important, but it's not like accepted as a simple explanation. You understand? So I would advise to wait until you're like very familiar. Somebody asks you a verse, and you know exactly Rashi and commentary on Rashi, what it says here, why it said, Medrash, Talmud, and stuff like that, and then go only to Ramban. Otherwise, a person would get confused. It's this kind of people, as I said before, like they have they have information. You ask them for a clear answer, they would not give you. Right, so Ramban, he takes many lines he just skipped completely, meaning that he would not add anything to the Rashi. Okay, it's simple. But some lines he would take one idea and develop over like 10 pages, like deeper and deeper and deeper. So you have to be ready for that. Okay. So I would say that's what I said. Prepare yourself. Okay. What else?
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So the next question says, could the flowers of the Shabbos table be accepted as well as a present before Shabbos from husband to his wife?
Flowers on the Shabbos table be accepted before Shabbos as a gift from present from husband to the wife?
Yes.
I'm not sure what would be the issue. So before Shabbos, you can give gifts. So there is no problem. There is no problem whatsoever. So if that person explained why he or she thinks there is an issue, it would help, because on Shabbos we're not allowed to give gifts, right? Why? Because it looks like acquisition. So you're not required to use money on Shabbos, because you may get to write down things, right? And you're not allowed to give gifts. So, but some gifts are allowed, meaning what? That is not a gift. So when you invited to somebody's house, right, and you brought with yourself some food. Okay, you brought I don't know, whatever you brought. Nuts. We brought a bottle of wine. So we're going to drink wine now. So it's not a gift. So it's something that you contribute to the table. But if they brought something like I don't know, a book for me, that would be a problem. So we're not allowed to accept gifts on Shabbos. But before Shabbos, there is no problem whatsoever.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Our friend just clarified the issue.
Yeah,
Friend says, I mean, as a double-purpose item, honoring the Shabbos and a present to his wife. Thank you very much, Rabbi.
Yes, absolutely, yes. That's absolutely proper. So as we said before, some people say, no, I'm going to save money, but buy us a diamond. So diamond ring would be wearing maybe once in like few times a year, maybe not even that. But flower is something that make a woman happy. Every Friday, every Friday, every Yom Tov. That's the best investment of money, is to invest in relationship with flowers, right? And it does not have to be the most expensive flowers, just flowers whatever you can afford, right? And since it is for honor of Shabbos, remember that it's actually you're spending not your money, but it's actually Hashem's money, right? Right, as so I had a class, maybe I'm not going to mention the book, but Beezrat Hashem, maybe we're going to do a class on this book. So it says how you understand tzedakah, right? How and this great rabbi says this example. I don't remember his example from Tom. I don't remember exactly where the example came from. But the example was like this: some rich person gave another person money and said, "Could you please give it to tzedakah? Could you go for me to that place, give it to tzedakah?" The person, "Yeah, sure, yeah, let me do it. I want to do. I like to do chesed." And he brought this money, let's say $10, whatever. right, to this place. He comes back to report, yes, I did exactly as you told me. That person said, here's $90 for you. For what? For giving this tzedakah. So that's how you understand like the concept of tzedakah, right? So whatever you spend on tzedakah, it's not your money, right? And in a reward for you giving this 10%, so Hashem is giving you 90, right? That's how we have to see it. And same with expenses of Shabbos, so beautifying Shabbos. Again, flowers, like some people, I don't know, they make money, it's so cheap and they cannot buy flowers. Maybe she deserves it. Okay, she's working very hard, she deserves it. So if you have something fresh to eat and you have clean laundry, it sounds like she deserves it, for sure, right? So you remember this expenditures on Shabbos, it's actually on Hashem's account, it's not yours. It's like somebody gave you money. So I remember like when I was younger, so our boss gave me money and said, go and buy everybody something. And my friend, when came with me along, so we bought the most expensive food. What do you think? Of course, like it's boss's money, right? Without even thinking. So if it would be my money, I would not buy such a food. You understand? So treat it as like boss's money. Okay. So make wives happy, it's very important. Okay, what else?
Thank you very much, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Is there any specific order that we have to count the ingredients of the ketoret with our fingers? Is there a specific order we have to do it with our fingers?
I don't think we will count with our fingers. You just read them. Maybe Kabbalistically, I'm not aware of it.
Thank you. No, because my Siddur says that we have to count them with our fingers.
Fingers? Okay. I don't know. I mean, in like 1, 2, 3, maybe, I don't know. I'm just trying to read just for us to get some understanding. If you read everything that it says in Siddur without extra stuff, forget about extra. I mean, do not forget. I hope that you read the extra. But if you do everything like for a man, including all of this kavanas, right before they put in talis, that they put in the tavshilin, all of the carbon and stuff like that. The prayer is around 1 hour and 40 minutes minimum. So to say that I'm going to bend my fingers and count, so I personally, that's a little too much for me personally to ask. You understand? So we're trying to do like everything without skipping. And it was a question about the Shema, so I just thought about it. So in order to get to the Shema, you have to say Psuki de Zimra. And even though the Shulchan Aruch says yes, like Mishnah Brura explains, if person came late to the shul, like what parts he can skip, because in order to say the Shema with the congregation, if he has this time, he said minimum this and this, but he sees that he has more time, that this president, that president, so all of these beautiful things. But another opinion said, no, we don't do that. Why? Because this is like a stepping stone. So if you want to get to the right place, you have to go step by step up. So we don't skip Psuki de Zimra in what I'm trying to say. So if you try to concentrate on one part, even though it is important, it's going to be an expense of the other. If you have unlimited time and you can pray 2 hours, let's say, concentrate on other things, yeah, there is no problem. But if you have only 1 hour to pray, so for sure it's going to be very fast, and for sure you're going to skip things. So I would say do not concentrate like on some specific things. Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So the next question says, if one usually finds a few hairs on the pillow when waking up, should she be more cautious on Shabbos and cover the hair when sleeping to prevent shearing inadvertently?
Hairs fallen out?
Yes, on the pillow on Shabbos.
No, there is no problem. There is no problem whatsoever. So what is that's a good question. So what is forbidden on Shabbos is to use a comb. So why? Because for sure, like you're going to pull out some hairs. You have short hair, long hair. Long hair, of course, there is more problematic. But even short hair, right? It's going to pull out. Maybe it was fallen hair, but the bottom line, we don't use comb on Shabbos. But what our sages say, so if somebody has have like more or less healthy hair, they can use like a brush, so like very like soft bristles, and you can actually comb the hair. But with the fingers, usually people like were very careful. Like when somebody needs to fix their hair, like with the fingers, there is no problem. It's there is usually like a person very careful. If they see like something entangled, they're not going to pull it away. So there is no problem. So there is no problem whatsoever. Sleeping, it's for sure there is no problem, no worries whatsoever. Most likely they were fall off before, they got detached before, and just got separated before because a person was turning from one side to another. Yes, no problem.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
The next question says, in the past, the rabbi explained to us that if a person that works on kiruv has translations and the like, they can use a piece of fabric and do netilat yadayim without water and removing the purity. My question is, if this could be applied in the case of a person that is not doing kiruv at the time. Thank you, Robert.
I'm not sure what is the connection. What is the connection? I mean, even if you do kiruv, what's the problem? You can stand up, go and wash your hands. It's not like your surgeon open heart surgery. I'm not sure what is the connection, but the general answer. If a person elaborate, would help us very much. But before that, I just want to say that. If person needs to like cleanse their hands and there is no water available, or it's like I don't know for whatever reason, so we can use soft fabric, like something that cleanses. So in Gemara they give example what is cleanses, like earth is cleansing. So you can wipe your hands, whatever spiritually, of course, right, on a earth, on a stone, on a fabric, like something like a cleansing material. But I'm not sure what is the connection with the kiruv. Not sure. So if please help us to understand. Right. So and same actually with So you need to pray, for example, and there is no water. Right. So there is no water. So what are you going to do? You're somewhere in the woods, and you say, "Whoa, it's time for mincha." Especially a good question, right? It's 3 p.m., right? Whatever. Until you get home, it's going to be too late. So you must pray now. There is no water. So you cleanse your hand on the bark of the tree, right? Of course, it's spiritual, and you can start praying.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Our friends sort of like clarifying the question. Friend says, I thought that perhaps the work of doing kiruv could have some exception, and if it's not working on kiruv, could require actual water.
No, it's not. I would not say there is no exception like this, because you can do both of them at the same time. So you can go like kiruv. It's not like a surgery. Of course, some people require the answers like more faster than others, or some things done. But to wash their hands for a few more minutes, it's not going to change anything. And of course, the other side is going to understand. So there is no such leniency. The only leniency if there is no water available. Period. Or you're not allowed, for example, some people had this one student, such a precious soul, and this lady, she had a problem. I'm not sure what is disease called, but she had a problem to wet her hands. So like a skin issue, like it's unbelievable. So for her to go to wash the hands, it was like the painful thing experience ever. So she was trying not to do anything, like to walk in gloves and stuff like that, and only wash her hands for bread. You understand? So that's I'm just thinking about that. Like she asked me a few questions, and I could not answer why. Like I told you, and we learned it, and then she explained to me. I mean, it did not like it was like a long time ago. It did not enter my mind to ask now. So now I would ask. Yeah, we have some skin issues or something. Most of the people are not, but that lady, she had very big, like sensitive hands, like not sensitive, like it's like a real skin issue. Right, so we try to find all of the leniency to wet the hands as less as possible. Okay. What else?
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
There's no more questions on the board. May I ask one last question?
Yes, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
So we're supposed to do netilat yadayim before eating bread, in order to cleanse all the tumah from the hands and not transmit this tumah to the bread. But if we speak between the blessing of netilat yadayim and the blessing of hamotzi, we have to wash our hands without doing blessing. So why is that? I mean, is the tumah is in the hands, and we have to wash our hands again. How is this connected with speaking in between these two blessings?
Okay, so because it's a clear connection between washing of the hands and eating the bread. So if not for the bread, I would not go wash my hands. In a sense, so it's like separate parts, but all of the same procedure. And tumah is only one of the reasons. It's not the main reason. The main reason is actually is for us to remember, not even for us, for the Kohanim to remember when they eat truma food, that they have to eat in a state of purity. So truma is wherever we give the 10% from our grains to the Kohen. So that's truma, right? So they have to eat in purity, and since there is no Beis Hamikdash, there is no way to purify anybody, but for them to remember that that's how they have to conduct themselves. Our sages established. So every Jew, right, even children, everybody would do it like in all of the generations. So when Mashiach comes, pretty speedily nowadays, we're going to be ready, right? And it's not going to be something new for Kohen, like every 4 years old, 3 years old, a Jewish kid knows that you have to wash your hands. So needless to say, Kohen. So because when eating the hands, eating the food with when the Kohen is not cleansed, so I think he get a chorus, meaning his life is cut short in this world and the next. So it's very big offense. So that's one of the reasons we wash our hands. I think it's a main reason. So it's one of the 7 rabbinical laws that were instituted. Okay. So and since it's part of one of the mitzvah, wash your hands to what is it from washing our hands and then say blessing on the bread. So we don't speak as the same with other mitzvah. But if it was pertaining to the meal, so I say, could you bring me the knife? No, this salt is not good. This bread is not fresh. I want to use other bread. Some like pertaining to the specific to the meal. There is no problem. You do not need to wash your hands again. So only when you say something irrelevant. Okay, of course, but we try to be reserved and don't speak, of course. Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anything else? Okay, so let's. I have a compensation for you. I did not know the answer of that commentaries, but I'm going to tell you what I learned other commentaries. So there is a famous verse in Tehillim you cannot miss. We're going to quickly. So it's 1:1, and it says, "Happy is the man who never walked in the counsel of the wicked, and never stood in the way of the sinners, and never sat sat where the scoffers sit." So here we go. We're going to comment just quickly on this piece. It's blowing my mind blowing, and we spoke about it many times, and sometimes I don't remember exactly where I learned it, unfortunately, but for sure I learned it somewhere. So we're going to read and see if we said anything different from that. I mean, of course, it's much deeper from what we said, but very interesting. So we're going to comment on who never walked, right? So it says, he did not want to hear any advice from the wicked person, not only in the moral matters, but in any matters whatsoever. So this wicked person, I don't want to talk to him. Period. I do not care what he thinks. Not even about religion, but nothing about, I need to buy, shoes. So I'm not going to ask him about the shoes, even though he's in the shoes business. You understand? Moral matters whatsoever. For instance, if the Rasha was distinguished physician, who would not go to him for advice unless it was absolutely necessary. So he's a famous doctor, and unfortunately, the most famous doctors, Jews, are not religious, and very, very fortunately. So unless you have no other choice, right, don't go him for advice unless it's about absolutely necessary. Why not, right? Right. So he's a doctor. We're talking about medicine. Right? Why? Because this would mean that he would have to associate with him. So now they say, so who is your doctor? And you said, my doctor is Mr. Rosenberg, Dr. Rosenberg. That's a problem, right? Associate with him. He might even have to be thankful to him and express his gratitude. Whatever he did for you, help you, right? So now you have to be appreciative to this wicked doctor. I mean, wicked meaning that not religious, right? And as a result, he might well become attached to him. And this is dangerous, right? Dangerous where the Rasha is concerned. So meaning what? So he's Rasha, and you become attached to him. You know that he's going to vacation on Aruba somewhere, like, I don't know where. That's a big problem. Moreover, no Rasha can resist giving some indication of his corrupt ideas in everything that he says. So you work with these lefty liberals, with all of these clowns, right? Okay, maybe they're not gonna. Could you mute your microphone, please? Please, sorry. Right, so he's going to express his wicked ideas, for sure, corrupt ideas, everything he says, especially doctor. He's helping you. Your religious person came to him, right? And not your God, but I'm helping you. Guess what, Mr. Religious? You understand? That's how they see. So now, since you're interested in my advice about the medicine, maybe I'm going to give you my perspective of politics, right? And there's a danger that one might also absorb some of this, meaning his heresy, right? You sit in a doctor's office, okay. Rashi writes that if one goes to ask advice, just one second. Rashi writes that if one goes to ask his advice, meaning this Rasha, he will certainly stop, right? So stop, meaning to stand in any case, right? And will eventually sit. So it's only when you associate yourself with this Reshaim, it's only a matter of time. So first, no, I'm trying to stay away from them, but that you get closer, and it's only a matter of time you're going to stop, meaning to stand with them and sit with them. And there is no doubt that something of this wickedness of this Rasha will remain with him. So for sure, maybe some doubt, maybe some thought, whatever they discuss is going to stick with you, unfortunately, right? Our rabbis even say that one should not look closely at the face of the wicked man. We said before many times, you're not allowed to look at the wicked man because of their wickedness, right? It can be contagious, right? A look is enough to cool off the feelings, the awe of God in the heart. So you look at the man, how he looks, and he's taking care of himself. He's like, I don't know, these doctors, right? Very rich doctors, lawyers, this and that, right? Very successful businessman, right? And this one look is enough. One more time, look is enough to cool off the feelings of awe of God, right, Mr. Religious person, in the heart. So it starts everything with the heart. Just as a person who has seen Shabbos desecrated can never have the same feeling for the holiness of Shabbos as one who never seen the desecrated in his life. So a person who have seen one time somebody desecrate Shabbos like openly, he would not like perceive the same holiness as a person who never seen Shabbos desecrate. So in some way it was lowered in his eyes. Okay, I'm not like that, but that person, so he did not treat it properly. So he's, I think it's mind-blowing. I mean, we spoke about several aspects, but he put it in such an amazing perspective. Rabbi Dessler, that's all. Thank you. Okay, so that's very good. So let's stop here. I have many things to do. So until tomorrow, please join us same time, and we're going to learn Beezrat Hashem kosher kitchen. Thank you and good night.
Have a good night.